So what were your first impressions of each other when you first met, right? And how did that connection evolve over time?
First impressions. So I will say that I was going through a divorce when we first met.
Hmm.
So I didn't really feel any type of way. I vowed that I would never, ever get into a serious relationship ever again. And he was going through a divorce at the same time. So we kind of bonded through our pain and
Hmm.
became friends.
Okay. What about you, Corey? What was that first impression?
Yeah, I would say the same thing. Like we were both going through that difficult time with
Hmm.
previous relationships, and that again that experience gave us that friendship bond. And I really would say to someone that your marriage needs to be founded on friendship, and I think that's what we had. We had that friendship bond, and I think that's what keeps us solid.
So how important is that, Keela, and both of you guys to answer? But how important is that dynamic of friendship to be the center? 'Cause I
It
think some people nowadays they get the marriage title, but
Hmm.
you can
mhm.
tell like the foundation isn't friendship.
I think that it is super important, and I think it and when I say it comes easy, hear what I'm saying. It comes easy because that was the foundation of how it started out.
Hmm. Gotcha.
So I don't really know anything other than the friendship
Hmm.
piece,
Okay,
if that makes
that makes sense. That
sense.
makes sense.
And what was the question one more time?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So why is friendship
Okay.
very important? To be the dynamic.
I feel like because the friendship is kind of the foundation or the building block of a relationship. Because
Hmm.
if you, like you said, jump into a marriage, or some people just like the idea of it and they just want the big wedding, they just want all these things. But
Yeah.
if you're not friends first, if you don't build that friendship bond, then
Mhm.
you really don't have anything that's solid.
Yeah.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So yeah.
Okay. So define a healthy marriage for me, and what are some elements that make up one healthy marriage?
Healthy marriage, always putting God first, having God be the center of that, uh, being selfless, being forgiving, extending grace.
Okay.
I would say a healthy marriage, obviously, yes, to keep God first, but also to keep your partner first.
Hmm.
So we should always think about our partner first when, making decision or just doing things, like always
Hmm.
thinking about the other partner, because it has to be about them. And both parties have to have that mindset to make
Yeah.
the marriage, a good, solid marriage. So I can't be selfish
Hmm.
and think I'm gonna have a good marriage. She can't be selfish, thinks that she's gonna have a good marriage. It can't be about self. If I'm always thinking about her, if she's always thinking about me,
Yeah.
putting each other first, then that gives you a solid marriage, and from my perspective.
Yeah. I seen an Instagram clip and the guy was talking and he was saying that if both people are like competing with themselves to please
Mhm.
the other person, and to me that makes sense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, because that establishes a dynamic of selflessness,
Mhm.
but it also establishes a dynamic of, working to always see what the other, because you can't please a person if you don't know what they want.
correct.
So
Right.
there's some type of dialogue on getting to know them, what's your favorite color, what's your favorite food type
Hmm.
of
Right.
deal. So what do you think? I think nowadays, 2024, I think marriage is almost a joke to some people,
Mhm.
because it's almost like they go for, like you said, the big wedding, the big ceremony, DJ at the reception, but they're not in it for the long haul, right? So, what advice could you give to people that genuinely want to be married, but they're discouraged by what they see? Like like, some people are just afraid. They'll date for 20, 30 years. They're just afraid to get married.
I'll just say marriage can be a beautiful thing. And just like anything, you have to water it in order for it to grow. Um, Another thing that I wanted to bring up about marriage, back to God and putting God first. I always try to incorporate God as it pertains to handling my husband. So, are my actions or are my words pleasing to God when I'm
Mhm.
dealing with my husband?
Okay. Okay. So you gonna say something,
Well, I
Corey?
would say to the person who is discouraged by what they see, every marriage and every relationship is different. So what you see in those individuals, that's not the that's not the that's not it for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What you see in
Yeah.
those individuals, that's just what's it for them.
Yeah.
But for every relationship, it's different. So it's what you make of it, it's
Hmm.
what you put into it.
Mm-hmm.
It takes work.
Yep.
It's not just something that will just magically happen. It takes
Mm-hmm.
work. You have to work on yourself. You have to work to be a better wife, be a better husband. You have to work at it. It's not gonna just happen.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say marriage is easy, but people will like carry you away
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
they'll have that bad experience and then they'll just, sowing those seeds of discord to everyone else,
Hmm.
trying to tell them about their bad experience. It's almost like going to a restaurant. You have a bad experience with one
Hmm.
waiter. Now
Hmm.
all restaurants are based
Hmm.
upon this one